at the Fiankwanta Hospital mortuary, while a search continues for the other missing victims. Well, we've been once again joined by Ibrahim Abubakar to bring us more details on the situation there. Now, Ibrahim, if you can tell us more what you were saying earlier.
So, Judith, like I was saying, it seems the 7 that have the same, they are all following the same pattern. Yesterday, the same thing at Offenso, a gentleman attempting to cross flood areas, and he was swept away by the waters. Then at Afua, we had people who were in a Kia bus attempting to cross the Atafua bridge. Then the water swept the bus. 3 body has been retrieved. The others we've not seen them. So the search and rescue mission is still on the ground doing the same thing. But it's worrying because, like I said, all these 7 deaths have followed the same pattern. So if in an event we find the 2 and they are dead, then meaning the number rises to 9. And this is the same bridge that on Wednesday we had 2 brothers also being swept away by water. NADMO has said it time without number that anytime you get to flooded areas, you have to wait for the water level to subside before attempting to cross. They have assured that they will dispatch their men to flood-prone areas so that they prevent people who would want to cross even when the water level is high. But it appears we are not seeing it. They will tell you they don't have the numbers, they cannot be at all the places at the same time. So we have to take that responsibility personally to make sure that when we get to flooded areas, we wait for the water to come down before we attempt crossing. It's a worrying development. Within 3 days, we are recording almost 9 casualties, and we don't know what will happen the days to come because we are told that more rains, huge volumes of rain is coming in the days to come. So it's getting serious, and honestly, this is not a situation where previously we were witnessing rainwaters and breaking into people's home, killing them and other things. This appears to be pure negligence on the part of those people. So it's just an advice that we all have to wait for the water levels to come down anytime we get to flooded areas before we cross.
Right, thank you very much. And that's my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar, who's been bringing us details on the flood situation in the Ashanti region, as well as the number of deaths. Now, let's stay on floods. And a project to improve disaster preparedness and resilience in Africa has been launched by the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, UNDRR. And the intervention will establish centers of excellence to provide knowledge, tools, skills, and capacity building on early warning signs and anticipatory actions.
The initiative by the United Nations is in response to Africa's vulnerability to the threats and risk of disaster, which tend to undermine the development and safety of the continent. At a training, experts from across the continent's relevant institutions were equipped with the necessary knowledge, skills and tools to train and develop their stakeholders in various approaches to early warning signs and predictable extreme events.
This project aims to establish a network of centers of excellence. At WASCAR, we are working under 3 main pillars. The first is the capacity building. The second one is climate research. The third one is how we harness capacities and research results and translate them into effective service that will help the different stakeholders take actions, appropriate actions, take appropriate decisions.
The Ghana Hydrological Authority indicates that it is already working with selected communities to help with flood information.
The benefit of an early warning system is it enables people to take steps to protect their lives, their livelihoods, and their valuables. If you know something is coming ahead of time, you are able to take some steps yourself, rather than sit down for things to happen to you and then you react.
Experts are optimistic an early warning system would equip people to act appropriately in sufficient time to reduce the possibility of hazards and the impact of environmental disasters.
This network of excellence really need to bring new knowledge, new solution, but to the organization they have that mandate. There's the mandate of protect the people's lives. I mean, scientists does not have mandate, but they have to work hand to hand with the organization that has their mandate to protect the population.
The training brought together professionals in early warning systems and early action in Africa from Ghana, Burkina Faso, Kenya, Mozambique, South Africa, Madagascar, and Italy.
Let's do some politics now. Both the governing New Patriotic Party, NPP, and the main opposition, National Democratic Congress, are holding their final rallies ahead of Tuesday's by-election in the Asin North constituency. President Akufo-Addo and several other NPP bigwigs are expected to address a rally for the governing party ahead of Tuesday, June 27's by-elections. Now, former President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC bigwigs are also expected to address the party's final rally today, Sunday, June 25. Both the NPP and the NDC have over the last few days been crisscrossing the constituency to solicit votes from the constituents. Three candidates, James Chichikwesing, and the opposition in National Democratic Congress, that is where he is from, and Charles Opoku from the governing New Patriotic Party, and Enyonam Sefenu from the Liberal Party of the Ghana LPG are contesting the Asin North by-election. Now, the chairman of the National Democratic Congress has accused the ruling New Patriotic Party of plans to rig the election. Johnson Asiedu Nketia spoke exclusively to Komla Kluche.
Even by the distribution of elections material, you can rig elections simply by the distribution of election material. And we guess the way for the past so many days I have been here, I have a strong belief that is what will be their last option to try and rig this election.
How do you come by that?
Because electoral you can have people wanting to vote for you. The activity of voting is a process where you convert the wishes of the people into actual results that determines the winner. So if anybody has a way of making sure that some people do not vote, the votes will be counted, by what is in the ballot box. So they know that in Asin North, our strongholds are in the rural areas. They come round to pretend to be fixing their roads in the peak of rainy season, and you go to use bulldozers and other things to mess up the roads. How are you expecting, electoral materials to even move to those centers for election to be conducted?
This is a plot that the NDC have picked an intelligence on, that it's a deliberate attempt.
Well, if I am speaking as a chairman, and because of that is the voice of NDC, I agree. But I'm saying that from my experience, this is what I have picked. If the road is messed up, electoral commission people, how are they supposed to carry the electoral materials to those places? And it is a deliberate thing. We are going to mess up the roads. Come out and tell people that, oh, you have this is act of God. There has been a rain, so we cannot send materials to those places. And you'll find out that those places where they will pinpoint that they can't send materials will be all NDC strong.
Well, Komla Kluche is in the Asin North constituency and joins me with updates. Now, Komla, good afternoon. Have final rallies of the NPP and NDC started yet?
Well, it's just about starting. I understand for the NPP, my other colleague Mawena Egbeta is over there. I understand the president is addressing a church at the moment. but John Dramani Mahama got into the constituency at 7 a.m. First protocol was a radio interview with Rich FM, where he went together with the national chairman of the party, the parliamentary candidates, and then the leadership of the minority caucus. That's the minority leader, his deputy, the chief whip, and his deputy. All of them are here to tell you a host of minority MPs. Virtually, the 136 members of the minority are in the Assin North constituency. So John Mahama, in speaking to the constituency, that radio interview has been indicating to them that look, the NPP has a ploy of deceit, and so all their plans, the NDC has uncovered it. The only difficulty that would be now to prevent them from going to vote, but that they are not going to relent on their effort to encourage the people where they have to even move them to go to the polling station. They will do so by ensuring that they are not denied their right to vote. He's also been making the point that it's very clear that the case that James Echikwesi is going through is purely persecution, and that he thinks that he's going to come out of this and be proud of the constituents of Assin North to have given him the vote. He has absolutely no doubt that this election would be won by the NPP, and for that matter, James Echikwesi. Now, after here, we understand that he's going to some other constituencies. In fact, the NDC is not doing a big rally of the sort. They are doing it, from one locality to the other, but they've spread their numbers to cover all the places that are needed, and so that it will not be a concentration of one side as compared to what the NPP is doing in the capital of the Breku area, where their Mammoth rally will be taking place. I understand it's at 1 p.m. And so the president is also in town, and almost all the big wigs of the NPP are also in town to ensure that they will also clinch the victory, or so to speak, snatch the seat from the NDC as the
Right, thank you very much, and that's my colleague Komla Kluche bringing us updates from there. But of course, we'll stay on this subject, and Mawina Eric Ebeta is also in the Assin North constituency following President Akufo-Addo's team. Mawina, if you can hear me, kindly give us some updates on what is happening there currently. Mawina, can you kindly unmute your microphone so we can hear you? Okay, we'll get to Mawina subsequently to see what is happening there in terms of Akufo-Addo's team. But let's move on to some other subjects. And the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers is to deploy 13 stationed observers to 13 polling stations within 12 electoral areas for the Assin North by-election. In a statement, CODEO said its team will be made up of 2 roaming observers on election day, of which one of them will observe the proceedings at the Collation Center. The CODEO team will observe the polling station setup, voting and counting procedures, and also file reports on any incidents they observe throughout the day. CODEO further called for a peaceful election at the Assin North constituency. Well, we've been joined once again by Mawina Eric Ebeta, who is also in the Assin North constituency, and he's been following President Akufo-Addo's team. Mawina, you can continue for us.
Right. Judith, we're currently at Assin Akomfedi at the Central, the Pentecost Church here, where just a short while ago, the president and a host of NPP stalwarts just filed out of the church's premises after holding a service with them, along with the candidate for the NPP in the Assin North constituency, the upcoming by-election, Charles Opoku. And there's been a lot of things that have been said as lots of supporters have gathered here at the Pentecost Church premises to throw their support behind the candidate. And also, many of them wanting to see the president as well in terms of exactly what's happening. And so that's what the situation has been. The atmosphere has been one that's largely been charged, and the president in his commentary has had some quite choice words, really. Response in some breath and also pot shots in some breath, where in terms of response, there's been suggestions that the government is persecuting James Gyakye Quayson in all of the things that we've seen since the High Court ruling in Cape Coast to the Supreme Court on May 17th affirming that decision, amongst many other things. And the president says that his administration cannot persecute James Gyakye Quayson, but rather it is the law that is taking its course. And so it has nothing to do with all of the things that have been happening in court, and they are here and only to win. In conversations by James Gyakye Quayson suggesting that he doesn't care, they could make a bed for him in prison and he will be in prison and win. The president expressed surprise at that particular commentary, and amongst many other things, that the constituents of Asin North don't need an MP who will be in prison. That's why they need to vote for Charles Opoku, an individual who can come to him at the presidency so that they could have deliberations, they can work together, and then he can continue to develop the Asin North constituency. So by and large, that's what's been happening. The rally is expected a lot later in the afternoon. The president suggested that as well, that the church premises is not a rally ground, and when he gets there, that's when he'll get the opportunity to be able to freely speak. But this is a church place, and so he would just like to go a little south. And so that's by and large what's been happening here. And the expectation now is that momentum will be building towards that final rally much later at around 3 p.m. As you know, per the country's election laws, they cannot campaign tomorrow, which is 24 hours to the set general elections. And so all of the campaign activities will come to a huge climax later today, and that's where a lot of the fever pitch activities will be happening at Judith.
Right. Mawina, we've been told earlier by Komla Kluche that all 137 MPs for the NDC are in the constituency to support James Gyakye Quayson. If you can give us an idea of some of the party bigwigs that are in support of Charles Opoku currently at the Asin North constituency.
Right. So talk of the Roads and Highways Minister, he's here. The Education Minister as well is present. The Ashanti Regional Chair of the NPP as well, Henry Boesiako, also known as Chairman Woodtubi, is present as well. The Eastern Regional Minister and a number of MPs. Because of the nature of the auditorium, not a lot of them made their way into the church auditorium. But the General Secretary of the NDC as well, GFK, Jackson Frimpong Kodi as well, was present as well with other individuals. I mentioned the regional minister as well. And so it is when we move to the final rally ground where we can get a full understanding as to what the situation is. But quite high profile individuals, even at the church auditorium, just to mention a few, Julie.
Right. Thank you very much. And that's my colleague Mawina Ebeta giving us some updates from the Asin North constituency. He's been following the President Akufo-Addo's team in support of Charles Opoku. But away from politics now, and at 18 years old, Princess Koko Boateng is not just counting the numbers, she's making the numbers count in everyday life, making history as the youngest person ever to qualify as a chartered accountant in Ghana. At the age of 18, Princess says she will not rest on her laurels until she becomes a renowned financial analyst. Christian Yali reports.
Hi, Christian.
Hi, Cousins.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Welcome to my room.
Thank you.
Have breakfast.
She has broken records, inspired many, especially young girls, not just in Ghana but also in Africa. But for 18-year-old Princess Koko Boateng, the saying, success in life is not for those who run fast, but for those who keep running and always on the move, is what has inspired her to become Ghana's youngest chartered accountant.
I went to Akosombo International School. When I got to primary 6,
I wrote the AIS Common Entrance Exam. They have this special Common Entrance Exam you have to write before you get admitted. So I went straight from primary 6 to AIS.
At 14 years, she was already a high achiever, gaining admission at the University of Ghana after passing the West African Senior School Certificate examination. While pursuing her Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration, Princess started studying for her professional examination with the Institute of Chartered Accountant Ghana.
I knew my academic schedule. I knew how many courses I would take in a semester, and it's normally 6 courses. So I take about 4 courses from the professional program, and then I draw my timetable according to that. But then with the university, you know, after every semester there are breaks, there are long vacation breaks. So I made use of those vacation breaks as well to learn the professional course. It took about 3 years because I started in level 100. Yeah, and then I just graduated. I finished the course in April 2023.
But it was not an easy task.
First of all, combining the professional course and the academic course was very difficult because there were times I had exams the same period I was writing IEs, and I could write an IE today and tomorrow I'd have a professional exams. Or it could even be the same day.
She beat the record of an earlier achiever, Hannah Enyan, who finished at age 19 in 2021.
She's smart, dedicated to work, and you know, sometimes like she calls me like, Udone, like there's this thing, let's learn it, you can do it, and you know, we meet up, have a group study. You know, I take pride in having one of my friends, you know, being up there. It brings me so much joy, you know. When it is said that when one person climbs a tree, they can help the others come up.
Princess Boateng hails her parent for their contribution to her success story.
When I went to high school, she was the one who taught me accounting. So she was the one who supported me. If I didn't understand anything, my mom would be the first person I would call, and she would always take me through it.
I'm more than the word proud as a mother, and I want to encourage all the youth that you can do more than Princess has done. Just look at you, look at what you can, look at the opportunities around you, and explore.
When she is not executing accounting procedures, she turns to her hobbies, playing basketball and photography.
I do have a social life. I don't necessarily party every day because my personal entertainment is not to party. I can't be partying as much as my friends were and still achieve this at 18.
I see her to be a very determined, hard-working, and then she's consistent with everything she does. We laugh, play, converse in the room like normal roommates. So I don't know, people see her in another way outside, and we also see her somehow in the room, and I think that's a nice feeling.
Indeed, the entire nation is proud of her achievement. A true prodigy, a trailblazer who has proven that you are never too young to follow your dreams. Christian Yali, TV3 News.
Well, we can all strive to be a Princess Koko Boateng in that interesting report there. But moving on, in a world where weight loss can feel like an uphill battle, Emmanuel Samani takes us on a journey of one woman's incredible transformation from 140 kilograms to 80 kilograms in just 2 years, highlighting the challenges faced by those striving to shed the weight, the impact of fast food chains, and the hope that emerges amidst the struggle.
In a world where the struggle to lose weight seems unsurmountable, one woman's journey stands out as a testament to the power of determination and resilience. Today I bring you a story of triumph over adversity, shedding light on the challenges faced by many individuals striving to reclaim their health and reclaim their lives. I've come to the Fitness One gym to meet Alpha, a dedicated gym instructor and manager who has witnessed firsthand the challenges people face when they step into the gym seeking to shed their excess weight.
Each month, I would just say if you take 10 people who subscribe daily, you have about 7 to 8 of them being obese. it's not just about working out. Your dieting plays a role. Your sleep plays a role. You check your carbohydrate intake. You take a lot of fruit, you take vegetables. Even meat is good, but in portions. So I always advise that at least if you want to take carbohydrate, it should be in smaller portions in the afternoon. You don't eat late in the evening. If you want to lose weight, processed foods, is not good for you. Sugar, you have to cut down on sugar and all that. A lot of people tend to stop along the line because, one, they don't get to see the results, so they feel they are wasting their time, energy, and resources. So a lot depends on the individual and the trainer as well. Once you train the person, you have to conscientize the client that, check your diet, eat well, sleep well. You have to monitor all these things.
In a recent survey conducted on Twitter, we asked people about their struggles with weight loss. Out of 126 votes, a staggering 56% admitted to struggling with weight loss, while 10% acknowledged some challenges, highlighting the enormity of the issue. But why do so many of us struggle to lose weight? One factor contributing to this uphill battle is the proliferation of fast food chains bombarding us with tantalizing yet unhealthy options. These establishments make it difficult to resist the temptations that hinder our progress.
Over the past decade, Ghana has seen a significant rise in the number of fast food chains offering quick and convenient meals to satisfy the cravings of many Ghanaians. Well, I'm here on the busy streets of Osu Accra, where we see a proliferation of fast food restaurants, also in areas such as East Legon and the like, which has contributed to the obesity problem we're witnessing today. Well, these establishments offer meals high in calories, unhealthy fats, and added sugar. Regular consumption of these foods, coupled with sedentary lifestyles, increases the risk of weight gain and obesity. That's according to experts we interviewed here in Accra.
Amidst the struggles, a glimmer of hope emerges. People are embracing healthier lifestyles, engaging in physical activity, and discovering the power of support systems. They are defying the odds, determined to shed the weight that has burdened them for far too long.
Hi, I'm Victoria Kujo. I'm an accountant.
I was weighing like 140 kg.
And now?
80 in 2 years.
My BP was always high. I had a whole lot. Sometimes I can't walk and all that too. The gym has always been here. So one day I just decided to come and register. Then I started. That was 2 years ago. So I started and I realized it's a good stress reliever. I've lost weight. My BP is better. I'm more active than at first. So it's not something I'm ready to stop now because I've benefited a lot.
She tells me some of the challenges she's faced through her weight loss journey.
Early this year, I lost my friend I met at the gym 2 years ago. And it's thrown me off. I'm telling you, it hasn't been easy since then till now. I haven't been myself. I drag myself to come here because I don't feel like it's not easy. The weight loss journey has its ups and downs. It's never smooth. So I realized that I've even gained some weight after she died because I didn't come for, I think, like 2 to 3 weeks. I couldn't step here.
The journey hasn't been easy for Victoria. She tells me how remarks from certain individuals motivated her to push further.
It was too much. I was too big. Like, it was a lot. And then sometimes the comments, especially when you are walking, people call you all kinds of names. And me, myself, I knew I wasn't healthy at all. My heart was beating like very fast all the time. So I decided, no, it won't help me because we sit in the office from 8 to 5. You barely walk out for lunch. Lunch is brought to you.
While the struggle to lose weight may be arduous, it is a battle worth fighting. By sharing stories of triumph, we hope to inspire others, showing them that change is possible. Together, we can overcome the challenges, break free from the shackles of weight, and embrace a healthier and happier future. Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News, Accra.
You're watching Midday Live. We'll be back with more stories. Please do stay with us.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chesena me ankasa me period na say problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asem ketewa na me kwan point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo medro me fire no ene ma won kra mienu foforo kwa na mkwan mu a eba
head everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama no nura ene ne ho eden a watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you of Acrobato. Hello hey ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point what dance am me call you no me Joseph sema na enkoyie e paso na my emre nyina na magina sebema na me be fie for there the one dey nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
1, 2, and yeah. 6, 8 minus 3, 6, 1, 7, 6, 1 minus 2, 9. That's it? 39 is correct from Adepa. 8 minus 3, 7, 5 minus 9, 8, 5, 5 minus 3 minus 2. That's it?
UC Mars Show Sundays at 2:30 p.m. on TV3.
The fishing industry in Ghana is of prime importance to the economy and the well-being of the people. Sadly, this critical industry faces a hidden threat that threatens its very existence and survival. Join us as we shine our spotlight on the canker of illegal fishing, a practice that has devastated our marine resources, depleting our fish stock, leaving our fishermen with empty nets, fish processors struggling to survive, and our communities in dire straits. We delve into safe fish handling and processing, certification and licensing schemes. We focus our sharp lenses on child labor and trafficking in fishing communities to demand accountability and responsiveness from duty bearers. Join 3 Foundations advocacy for Ghana's fisheries recovery through missions compelling and captivating advocacy. Keep an eye out on TV3. This program is under the auspices of the Feed the Future Ghana Fisheries Recovery Activity, funded by USAID, from the American people, live on News 360 and across all Media General social media platforms.
The TV3 and 3FM Great Expedition is here again. It's much bigger and exciting this time. Experience the breathtaking view of the ever-scenic Kafajato and the spectacular Wuli Waterfall. Let's uncover the excitement around these mystical and extraordinary sceneries. Happening on Republic Day, Saturday, 1st July 2023. Come, let's make memories on Republic Day with the Republic Day Reloaded. We head to Kafajato as we hike to the summit. We visit the Wuli Waterfall. And then we have a dinner and party at the Bamboo River Resort. This package includes transportation, breakfast, snacks, dinner, music on rotation, plus the whole experience, all for 650 Ghana cedis. For reservation, call 0541 159 715 or 0554 049 778. The TV3 3FM Republic Day Expedition. You don't want to miss this.
When it comes to the world of sports, what does complete mean to you?
When my team scores at the end of a 30-plus passing sequence, just like Pep Guardiola style.
When someone beats the buzzer with a shot from the logo, like Steph Curry.
Dominating opponents and punching my waist to a knockout, like Africa's greatest boxer, Azuma Nelson.
Running so fast I can afford to celebrate midway through a 100-meter race and smash the world record like Usain Bolt.
Hold up, what makes all of these sports complete is the screen. This is where you get access to all the extensive highlights, analysis, and insights.
So do join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. live on 2FM 92.7 as we serve you the best sports buffet and most satisfying in the sports world. The 3 Sports team will come together to review, preview, and analyze the latest in the sports world, here on Sports Ultras.
Welcome back. Now, gender rights advocacy groups have called on the university authorities to put systems in place to check sexual harassment and abuse of women. It also called for equal rights and financial freedoms for women and girls to empower them.
The forum, held under the topic Creating a Gender Equitable University Community, was to enable the students to share their perspectives on ways to improve gender equality in universities across Ghana. It is coming on the heels of a recently launched gender policy which seeks to promote diversity and inclusivity and enshrine gender inequality in all aspects of the institutional culture of the university. The forum was attended by advocacy groups including women's rights groups and students. A senior research fellow at the Center for Gender Studies and Advocacy, Abunachere, observed that one key market for women's employment is financial independence.
When women have resources, it trickles down to other members of the family. They have access to health care. Most of the time, the children have access to education. Such women are able to make decisions about their reproductive health care and largely engage in other social and community activities.
Meanwhile, a senior programs officer at the Network for Women's Rights in Ghana, NetRight, Cynthia Sunu, said systems should be put in place to stop discrimination against women and girls.
Things should be put in place to enable them fully participate in the economy, to enable them to even fully thrive in whatever space that they find themselves in. Let us create an environment that works to actively prevent sexual and then gender-based violence in the university community.
Some participants were optimistic that advocacy work would go a long way towards changing perceptions about women in society.
Now, Ghana has won the bid to host the 2024 African Media Convention. The president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Albert Kwabena Dwumfour, made this known during an awards night in Kumasi. The two of the media journalists were awarded on that night.
Present at the occasion were the Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Educhum, Chairman of the National Media Commission, Yao Boadu Ayabuafo, among other dignitaries. Addressing guests and awardees, President of the GJA, Albert Dwumfour, made the big announcement.
The GJA has won the bid to host the third African Media Convention in Accra, Ghana, in May 2024. The African Media Convention, is currently the largest gathering of media stakeholders and policymakers in the continent. And we'll be expecting about 1,000 delegates all over Africa. The convention, an initiative of the African Editors Forum, TAIF, is designed to safeguard the hard-won media freedoms and safety of journalists on the continent.
Some journalists whose significant works have contributed to the development of the Ashanti region were awarded. Beatrice Piogabra was awarded for her report on the deprived. Her story on a crippled child seeking to make a difference in the area of education won her a prestigious recognition.
I'm celebrating 20 years in journalism, and to get this recognition from the GJA means that what we've been doing has been taken notice of. And going forward, it's a motivation that those that I'm working with, especially those who come to do their internship, their national service, I have a lot to let them know that journalism is not all about sitting in the office or being on TV or being heard, but doing impactful journalism that impacts society, change the lives of the vulnerable.
Head of camera in the Ashanti Bureau of Media General, Victor Opoku, was also awarded.
On to some more stories now. And a senior research scientist at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Richard Ampeduameyao, says Ghana stands to gain more with the introduction of genetically modified crops. Speaking at a training workshop for journalists, he observed that the perception that farmers will lose their seeds is unfounded.
The workshop was to take journalists through the work done so far by the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, and the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology Ghana, OFAB, about genetic modification crops on cowpea. More than 50 journalists were taken through the findings of the center. The findings established that Ghana's GM cowpea is engineered to be resistant to Maruca pests. The findings show that cowpea production has been decreasing by an average of 2.55% from 2011 to 2016. A senior researcher at the CSIR, Richard Ampedu Amaya, observed that a meeting with journalists was to correct misconceptions about GM crops.
We have studied and looked at the significance, the importance of the crop or the technology in our agriculture space. We believe that the GMO, if we properly look at it, we properly use it the way it should be used, we would all benefit from it, not as individuals, even as a country.
Research scientist at the Biotechnology and Nuclear Agriculture Research Institute, Dr. Osei Ofosu, said Ghana stands to lose if it continues to delay adopting the technology.
GMOs are coming in to help our farmers to address challenges with climate change, nutritional profile of our foods during agriculture, so that it becomes attractive to people who leave school. It doesn't become a retirement job for people who live in the villages.
On to some more stories. The African Institute of Mathematical Sciences has commenced a series of trainings for science students across the country. Dubbed Africa Science Week, the objective is to inspire and empower the next generation of female scientists, engineers and innovators in Africa.
Africa Science Week of the Next Einstein Forum training is taking place simultaneously in 11 other African countries. The project, by the African Institute of Mathematical Sciences, AIMS, with support from the Henry Luce Foundation, is focused on promoting women in STEM across different African countries. Accra Girls Senior High School benefited from the first edition of the training. Students undertook an intense 4 hours of 80 different science practicals, including robotics, solar and electricity practicals. The project coordinator of AIMS said the initiative is to inspire and empower the next generation of female scientists, engineers and innovators in Africa.
We want to use this opportunity to introduce a lot of females into the STEM education of the region. Yes, it is possible, they can do it. Let's just give them a chance. Let's just break that barrier.
The assistant headmaster of Accra Girls Senior High School, Sebastian Akalinya, is hopeful the exercise will motivate the girls not to abandon their dreams.
Some of them came with good grades to offer science, and then they've come back to come and change their course from science to other areas. This particular program, I see it to be a program that is meant to break that particular phobia, to take them out of that fear for science.
Some of the girls were optimistic about pursuing science further.
We were introduced to something called the DEX Science Set. So the science set contains different things like motors, batteries, capacitors, LEDs, and other things that you can use to build various kinds of stuff.
I think that you have to only offer science before you can do whatever you want. So this program is not only for science students. For me like this, I'm a business student.
The Pan-African Public Engagement Edition is on the theme, Breaking Barriers, Inspiring Scientific Excellence.
Now, total trade in goods and services between the UK and Ghana in 2022 was £2.2 billion, making Ghana the UK's 69th largest trading partner, accounting for 0.1% of total UK trade. But the UK-Ghana Chamber of Commerce says it is poised to facilitate more partnerships to increase Ghana's annual trade earnings.
In 2022, total UK exports to Ghana amounted to £883 million, whereas UK import from Ghana amounted to £1.3 billion. With global uncertainties, among others, the UK-Ghana Chamber of Commerce believes that with the right partnerships, earnings can be improved.
The University of Ghana Medical Center, because one, we do not have a history of having clinical trials units in Ghana. I think the first one was with the East Hospital when the pandemic hit, and that was established for infectious diseases, and then we got the clinical trials unit. So if this is completed, it will be the second one in Ghana.
In a bid to strengthen Ghana's clinical research, the Chamber is supporting the University of Ghana Medical Center with funds.
This will go a long way to help us establish and then achieve our goal
of establishing the clinical trials to help Ghana and the sub-region as a whole. It's a concern we share, and they have taken over. They did it last year, and they are doing it this year. We are very grateful for their partnership.
The UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce is a member-based organization that promotes trade between Ghana and the United Kingdom.
Up next is sports.
Good afternoon. Let's have sports here on Midday Live. My name is Kelvin Olson. So let's begin from the continental front, where the Under-23 Cup of Nations tournament and the Black Meteors begin their campaign this afternoon against Congo. Ghana and Congo sit in Group A alongside host Morocco and Guinea. It has been nearly 2 decades since Ghana participated in the Olympic Games, and the Black Meteors are focused on securing a participating slot. Ghana missed out narrowly for the 2020 edition after losing on penalties in the third-place playoff game. Now, ahead of this afternoon's game at 3 p.m. against Congo, Black Meteors head coach Ibrahim Tanko says his team is well prepared for the tournament, whilst captain Daniel Efriye-Banier is confident in his colleagues to meet expectations.
We have a very good technical team. We have our video analysts. So we watch how they play, we watch their qualifying games. So definitely we are aware how they are going to come, and we prepare for that. I mean, it's teamwork, and as I said, we train very well. We started in Ghana and we went to Egypt for training camp. It's all because of this tournament. So I think what you want to do to be in Paris or to win the cup, definitely this is what we're going to do. I take part in the last one in Egypt, and each team that qualify deserves to be here. And when you look at the teams that did not qualify, that tells you that everyone who is here deserves to be here. And I think it's going to be a very good tournament.
This competition means a lot. I would say Olympics is one of the biggest tournaments in the world, and then it involves a lot of senior players, idols and stuff, so it means a lot to me. I don't know if you've been in our training grounds. I'm not sure you'll be in our camp because, it's a secret place, but if you've been in the training grounds, everything, atmosphere and everything, the morale is high, and then we are all prepared for tomorrow's game.
Well, kickoff is at 3 p.m. and we wish the Black Meteors the very best. Now, moving on, Morocco, who are hosting the qualifiers on Saturday, staged a comeback win against Guinea to win 2-1 in the Group A opener at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat, thanks to a brace from Barcelona trained Abde Izalzu.
Fofana. And we're underway then here in Rabat, the opening game of the Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations. Morocco, that's what he'd like to do. Keep it slightly off his line as well. A little bit of extra space then. Kamara might pop up as a second option though with the cross. He does go for the shot and it's in! Well, the keeper left a bit of space in front of him there to his left. And Al Ghassim, but the hosts stunned. They've been timid in this first half and they've paid the price here. Composes himself, the captain. The keeper dances on his line. Superb penalty. Morocco back on level terms here midway through the second half. Penalty given. Salsouli slams in. Morocco 2-1, surely that will be the 3 points in the bag for the tournament hosts. And after a stuttering start to the game, it turns into the perfect start of the tournament for Morocco. Two goals from the captain. Keita Mori went the right way but could do nothing about it. That was a superbly struck penalty. Hard to tell. The VAR camera there really...
Now let's finish off with some arm wrestling news and the arm wrestling championship for Africa that came up in Ghana starting on Friday was crowned on Saturday evening with the Ghana Golden Arms emerging champions and victors of the competition. They managed to defeat Egypt and Nigeria, fending off their trouble by winning with 139 medals. It wasn't an easy one for them, as the 47 gold, 55 silver and 33 bronze helped to secure a win for Ghana at the Maiden Arm Wrestling Championship, which was held in Accra. Well, congratulations to the Golden Arms who emerged victors yesterday. That will be all for sports this afternoon here on Middle Live. Don't forget, at 6 p.m., Sports Ultras will be live on 3FM 92.7. Entertainment news is next.
Let's do some entertainment news now. In 2022, GMB winner Tunktaya Dahmani Foundation has teamed up with the Universal Islamic and Cultural Trust to commission a borehole for the people of Lunsifon, a community in the Tolong district in the northern region. The project aims to provide access to clean water.
This is Tolong, the capital town of Tolong district. It's one of the areas with the highest water scarcity. I describe today as a special day because of one single personality in northern region, who is the person of Madame Tunktaya, the Ghana most beautiful for 2022. It reminds me of Dr. Agri, who was saying educating a woman means a nation's education. We are benefiting from a woman's initiative. It means a lot, not to me, but to the entire Tolong district.
Today I am very excited because with the great help of the Universal Islamic and Cultural Trust, we have been able to commission a borehole in the Lunsifon in Tolong district. Here in some parts of the northern region, there is scarcity of water, and as a queen I believe that I am not supposed to identify just one problem in my community and solve it, but also identify other problems and help to solve them. And one of these is the scarcity of water. And so the Tunktaya Dahmani Foundation reached out to the Universal Islamic and Cultural Trust to assist us to get a borehole for this community. And today, the whole community is benefiting from this project. And they have made us aware that they are going to use it to the benefit of the whole community, and other surrounding communities are also going to benefit from this borehole as well. Thank you so much to you all for supporting the Tunktaya Dahmani Foundation.
Congratulations to Taya there. An award-winning Nollywood actress, Iniedo, has said the greatest regret of her life was getting married in the first place. In a recent interview, the world-loved actress opened up about her failed marriage. In 2008, Iniedo married an American-based businessman, but the marriage only lasted 5 years. They divorced in 2013, and Nollywood actress has revealed that the marriage was forced on her by her family, adding that she would only consider marriage with the right person. She said, quote, "I regretted my decision to get married because it was just not the right move to make," the popular actress noted. Up next is international news. Now, on the international front, the head of the Russian Wagner mercenary group is to leave Russia for Belarus after calling off his troops' rebellion. Now, the Kremlin says his troops will not be prosecuted despite being accused of armed mutiny. President Vladimir Putin has decried the actions as treason in a national TV address on Saturday. But the situation de-escalated just as Wagner groups are heading towards the capital, Moscow. Now, Nigeria's State Security Service has warned the public of possible terrorist attacks on houses of worship ahead of the June 29 Islamic celebration of Eid al-Adha, the Feast of Sacrifice. The Department of State Services says operations during the week against armed men recovered improvised explosive devices, indicating plans to launch attacks before and during the festivities. It's the first such warning by Department of State Services, or DSS, since Nigerian President Bola Tinubu assumed office in May. Now, the Ugandan government has announced plans to increase the legal age for consuming alcohol from 18 to 21. The World Health Statistics 2023 report ranks Uganda among the leading countries for high rates of alcohol consumption. According to the WHO report, it is estimated that Ugandans currently consume 12.2 liters of alcohol per person annually, which is significantly higher than the global average. The Ministry of Health Commissioner for Mental Health, Alcohol and Substance Abuse, Dr. Hafsa Lukwata, said that the Parliament will discuss the age limit among other measures in the soon-to-be presented alcohol control bill. And that's how I wrap up Midday Live here on TV3. My name is Judith Awachitando. It's a pleasure coming to you always. Do stay tuned.